Welcome everyone back to the European Journeyman. In today's episode, we have two games in the Belarusian First Division against Dynamo Minsk and Dynamo Brest. Since you last left us, we have had some mixed form, but we've won a lot of games, which is good. We've not drawn a game yet, which is interesting. So after the 4-2 win over Naftin, thinking we kind of had lift-off, we then lost 1-0 to Bate Borisov, who are one of the better teams in the league, so that's no shame. We then won 3 in a row. We beat Arsenal 2-1, Vitebsk 4-1, and Neman Grodno 4-3. We then had a very disappointing back-to-back losses to Slavia Mosir and Dnepr Mogilev. So really disappointing because they're one of the teams who've really not done well. They've only won one game all season. They lost 5 in a row before they played us. Obviously, we do have that 10-point deduction, but we've wiped that out now. We are 2 points to the good. We are still 5 points away from safety. So obviously, 15th and 16th go down automatically. 14th is a relegation playoff. So ideally, we want to be aiming for 13th. So we're not a million miles away. The problem is we play 5th and 2nd today. So coming off the back of 2 losses, quite tough. No mistake there. I don't know how Europe works. It doesn't seem to have kicked in yet. We don't seem to have it in the rules anymore. And Dynamo Minsk don't have any fixtures yet. So I'm not really sure how it works. I think last time it came in around July. So it could just be that obviously it hasn't finished last season. There is a big gap there. So perhaps there's kind of like a break around July-ish as well. And maybe it's just because they know there's going to be these fixtures, maybe. Where is the final? So the final actually hasn't been played yet. So that makes sense. So the final's on the 1st of June. So that makes sense. I forgot that. Yeah, so it probably won't show up, but it will be part of the season. Obviously, we won't be involved, but just obviously it will probably help us because other teams might be playing games, but not if there's a big gap allowing them to play those games. So this is the team we've gone for. We are missing Igor and Kalinin because they are obviously on loan from Dynamo Minsk, so we can't use them. So this is the team we've got. We've got Sison in goal, back 4 of Kirchner coming back into the side after his injury. Vervoot, Shubovic coming back in, and Skibitsky playing for the first time, starting at left back. Gagliata and Hariata are in midfield. Agiv is suspended for too many yellow cards. Lianovic on the right, Michelikan in the middle, Danila Chul on the left because Igor is ineligible, and Yatara up front, who has actually started to score some goals. He has got 7 and 3, so nothing crazy, but he's doing well. About a goal every other game. This is going to be tough. If we can get some points, even just draws out of these two, I'll be happy with that. I would expect us to lose both games, though, because, they are a good side. We did have a transfer offer for Gusev for 10k, but he rejected the contract for whatever reason. So he wants to stay here, even though he doesn't want to stay here. So not really sure what he's playing at, but these are a very good side. I would expect us to get beat today. But we aren't a million miles away from safety now, which, given the really, really poor starting conditions we had of being obviously a newly promoted side, but also on a -10, it does feel good. It does feel good to be doing quite well. Again, we've had some disappointing results, but to win 4, if you took away our 10-point deduction, we'd be on 12 points. We'd be up in the Europe spots. So I think for a newly promoted side, we're doing very well. We're doing the best out of the 3 newly promoted. Obviously, Vitebsk came up, and I can't remember who the other team was. It might have actually been Belshina Bobruisk. I can't remember, but we do actually have a corner. Leonovic whips it in. Oh, that was a great opportunity. He just fell to his feet, weirdly enough, which for a corner is very, very rare. And I don't know who it was. It must have been Shubovic or something. It just fell to his feet, and he had a one-on-one. He really probably should have scored it. It's very disappointing. If we can get a shock winning, that's even better. But realistically, if it remains like this, I'm happy because we're at least, we at least need to try and get off the bottom spot. We were actually off the bottom spot at one point, but Bobruisk are just picking up too many points. And we then lost to Dnepr Mogilev, which put us back down to bottom spot. So we're doing okay, though. We have been probably not the better side. We've probably been beaten pretty, well so far. But we're not doing too bad. I will tell the boys I'm not happy with it, though. But we're doing okay, given that this is our good side. And Hariata with the free kick hits the post. That would have been a great, great goal for him. He's yet to score so far. But that would have been amazing. That would have been so, so good. But we are, yeah, like I say, we would have been on 12, well, 13 points now with this draw. So we would be right up there. We'd be well away from safety. Well away from the relegation zone, sorry. So I think we've actually had a really good start. And that's a good tackle from Kirchina. He can't, unfortunately, win the ball back, though. But I think we've had a good start. And if we can get a point here, and if we can even get a win, that would be even better. Skibitsky has been playing on the right, but he is more natural on the left. We did pay a fair chunk for him, which, I mean, that's a very poor ball. And we didn't pick up what was quite a poor pass from them, but quite a poor shot from Minsk as well. Hopefully with the home advantage, we might be able to sneak something here. He's not having it. I mean, the front four, it's not really working, but don't really think we have too many options on the bench. 20 minutes to go. We'll take a look. We have Gusev, of course, but, I mean, Yatara has picked up a little bit of a knock. Zagurski could be one to come on. I'm going to bring Susha on, though, because he's doing really poorly. And Susha's actually been really good, especially on camera. He scored that hat-trick. So we'll bring Susha on for the last 20. Yeah, I don't really want to bring Gusev on, especially not when now he's kicking off and wanting to leave and etc. So, I mean, a point's very good. I'm not really upset if we just hold on to this. But Leonovic, back to Gagliata. I mean, it's a poor ball. We nearly lose it. But Gagliata plays it to the Danish right back. He's driving forward very slowly, plays it into Susha, falls to Yatara, and Mohamed Yatara buries it. It's Energetik Minsk 1, Dynamo Minsk 0. I can't believe I said Minsk wrong when I said it twice. But we are 1-0 up in the Minsk derby. And this is a massive 3 points because it puts us within distance of actually getting outside all of the relegation spots. And that looked like a penalty. He was brought down, but nothing given. A very loose ball allows Zagurski to get on the end of it. He plays it to Hariata, who plays it to Susha, who's turned his man lovely, falls to Yatara, who's brought down. I mean, 2 players were brought down there. We have got the penalty. It is going to be Susha to take. And with only 2 minutes to go, this would absolutely wrap the win up. Susha to take, and it's saved. Oh, it's saved. It's only 2 minutes to go, though. We've got a corner as long as we take our time with it. We hopefully should see this out as a 1-0 win anyway. We obviously haven't took too many up for it. Whipped in. Hariata gets on the end of it. Goalkeeper collects. A minute and a half remaining. Hopefully we can just see this out and get the 3 points. And that is a massive 3 points. We've won the Minsk derby, if it is one. Very good stuff. A clean sheet. And that's what happens when we can finally get a left back and a right back in the right place. Great result there. Well done, boys. It is a rivalry, apparently. It is actually a rivalry, which makes sense. It'll be a local one. So we now are 3 points clear. Sorry, 3 points away from safety. I mean, 2 points away from safety, really. So if we win the next game, we could potentially be out of the bottom 3. Ideally, we just want to get off bottom 2. That's the main one. Oh, Yatara picked up. I mean, he scored. How could he need a month out? He scored. Yatara is going to miss a month, which is really bad. Gusev will have to play, and he's really unhappy. So that's worrying. That is very worrying. Yeah, but very good stuff there. I mean, do we bring Kalinin back in? I think we have to. We do bring Kalinin back in. He's been good. But Shubovic definitely gets on the bench. He did very well there, keeping a clean sheet. Good stuff. So I think, yeah, right back, left back, we'll keep that. We'll keep the rest of it. We'll bring Pedro Igor back in. Chult wasn't really that good anyway. Yatara is going to be out, so we can keep Hariata in. So good stuff. So we'll be back for the Dynamo Brest game. Is that another? So who's our? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so there's actually a lot of rivalries. These are all in our league. Okay, Torpedo aren't, but Minsk are in the league. And obviously we lost to Islok earlier, which doesn't seem so bad now because they're absolutely they're at the top of the league. So they're doing really well. But we do play Brest, who are actually trying to go top of the league next. So this is going to be tough, but we're doing well. We are doing well. I think, yeah, like I say, if you took our 15 points, we'd be like 6th or 5th. So we are doing well. I think we are doing well. We just need to keep going, and hopefully we can try and get something here and at least get us off the bottom spot. That would be good. So for our second game of the episode, we are away to Dynamo Brest, who did win their game in between our games. So they are top of the league. So we are playing top of the league now. So this is the team we've gone for. We've got Sison in goal, a back four of Kirchina, Vervoot, Kalinin and Sibitsky, Hariata and Agiv in midfield, Leonovic at right wing, Michelkin down the middle, Igor on the left, and then Kirill Gusev, who has kicked up a fuss, but he was a good man. He was a good man in the second division. He's played, actually did score one off the bench, so he can score in the top division, but he comes in for a start as Yatara will miss the next couple of weeks of games. So this is going to be another tough game. I mean, if we can get a point here, I think that's great. A point against these lot who are absolutely flying would be great. A win, another shock win. I mean, that was a win. They've won the last 5, so I'm not going to hold my breath that we're winning this, but a point would be really good. A point would keep us well within the mix of getting out the bottom 3. Ideally, I mean, we need to focus off getting off bottom spot, which is the one. If we draw today, we could potentially move off bottom spot. So that would definitely do me if that was the scenario we left the episode in. But we're good. I mean, like I say, 10-point deduction, take that away. We're up in the Europe spot. So we are very much doing very well for a newly promoted side. I still think it's weird. It's a 10-point deduction. I did not know anything about it. But Agiv plays it to Vervoot. And I do think we're starting to click now. The players are just starting to get better. I do think we could potentially do a little bit better at the back sometimes. I think that game was actually our first clean sheet, which, says a lot. I don't think Vervoot's been great. I don't think Kalinen's been amazing. But Vervoot, definitely for being a foreign player, I would have expected a bit more. Not necessarily because he's foreign, but we only get 4 of them, so you have to hope that they're quite good. I mean, that's a very poor clearance from Kalinin. And it does fall to the Brest player, and Duxo, whoever that is, Mafi Duxo, puts Brest 1-0 up. And I mean, they've got a pretty big ground by the looks of it. So they do go 1-0 up, and it's to be expected. We were expecting to lose this one. But if we can, like I say, if we can get a point, that's good. But Igor does really well to take it down, plays it in. That's a great ball in. That's a really, really good ball in. And Leonovic should do a lot better with it. Being totally honest, he should really do a lot better with it. But good work from Igor. He's not been as good of a player as I was expecting him to be. I think Yatara has been quite good. I think Susha's been quite good this year as well. Really surprised with him. The midfield has been okay. They've all been good. The back line have been good. Very impressed with the left back, and we've gave away a penalty. Oh, Leonovic gave it away. I thought it was Harriata, but it was Leonovic apparently. Oh, this looks like it's probably going to be 2-0. Yeah, it's 2-0. Okay, we're probably losing this one. We'll probably just have to put this one to the side and hopefully pick up the points elsewhere. We're still well within reach. We can still very much come off the bottom spot with a win in the next game. We do that, we're flying. So I'm not going to look into the table too much. I think if we just look into our form, if we keep it up, we're about a third of the way through the season now. If we keep it up, we'll be fine. I do genuinely think that. It's going to be tough because we're asking to repeat what we've done already, which has been quite good. Mechklin's not playing great. We'll bring Susha on. He was quite good again when he came off the bench. We'll leave the rest of the squad as is. Harriata's not having a good game. He might get hooked. Gusev's not playing well, but again, we don't have another striker, so we're just going to have to put our hope in him that he can turn up and get something. To be honest, service has been terrible. We've not made anything. And that probably doesn't help. That's, Gusev is very, very slow. You know what it is? It's a very slow league. I just look at the players that are playing. Just a lot of low acceleration across the board, even for the good teams. Gusev gets on the end of it, but never really looked like it was going to finish it, unfortunately. Does remain 2-0. Right back's not having a great game either, but he needs to get fitness, so we'll leave him on. Again, this was a bit of a wash game. We beat Minsk, which was the important one. We will make a sub, though. We'll bring Danila Chul on up top. He's pretty quick. Hopefully he can potentially get in behind something. You never know. We'll bring Skabisky off. We'll bring Jefferson on for him. We can't because we'll bring Gagliata on for Arta, who's not played very well, and then we'll bring Jefferson on to match the 4 foreign players max. I do think we'll have a little bit of a rethink in the January window, or in the summer window, I guess. It's just weird that their summer window is like the halfway point, but that's just the way it is. I do think Vervoot has not been great, but it's going to be hard to move some of them on because they're on fairly big wages, which maybe showed our naivety coming into this window. Obviously, it was our first window in this league, so weren't really sure what the quality was going to be like. But I think I think there is a gap between the second and first division, but it's not huge. It's not Championship Premier League difference. It's it's just a gap. It's not. It's very reachable, and I definitely think we can definitely do well there. The right back did fairly well there, the Danish right back, but wasn't going to obviously beat the keeper with that kind of effort. But Pedro, Igor to take the corner, and obviously it's not done. We're only 2-0, so I think overall you would say we've done okay here. Daniel Chul gets on the end of it. I wouldn't expect him to score. He is only short. But, looking at it, we're still okay. The teams that are around us are still losing. So a win in the next game could potentially get us up to 14th, which would be more than good enough for the time being, a third of the way through the season. Like I said, given the start and conditions we had, I think we're doing very well. We won't worry about games like this. These are top of the table teams. We wouldn't compete with these even if we weren't on a -10. That's very poor from the goalkeeper, but thankfully doesn't end up in a goal. We haven't been good today. We were missing a couple of players, but yeah, very poor result. But again, it was quite a good side. We will tell the boys it wasn't good enough, but in reality, we know that that's to be expected. So yeah, we are still on bottom. But goal difference-wise, we'd be up and around these kind of spots. So, like I say, 15 points we'd be on now. So we'd be about 8th. We'd be about mid-table, which for a first season, yeah, that's more than good enough. So that's going to do it for this episode. When we come back, where do we want to come back for? I think Bate and Islok, those are two good teams. Bate are having quite a poor season, so that could be an interesting one. But I think that would be a good place to come back because it's around where the European stuff might come in as well, and we might know. I mean, I don't think we'll be challenging for Europe. Don't worry about that, but just so we at least know what's going on with it. But so we'll play these games off camera. I think, is that actually when the window starts as well? It is June to July, so 26th of June. So yeah, so we will have actually started the window as well. So we might do a little bit of transfer business as well. And we'll just see how we go. So that'll be where we come back for the Bate Borisov game. But hope you're enjoying the European Journeyman, and I'll see you all for that episode very soon.